Hello everybody. Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, as you can see, we'll be creating this simple, beautiful and amazing save the date wedding poster. So I'll be dropping all the resources I used for this project in the link in the description below, so you can go there and download all the resources used. You can use them for your own design, or you can replicate this design if you want. Alright, so please try and subscribe to this channel. Please just click the subscription button. Please just click. You can as well like, share and comment on this video so that other creatives can be able to see this, and turn on the notification bell so that when I upload a new video you will be the first to see it. So let's dive right into the creation process. So we are in Photoshop already, so we come to this place, we now say create new, and we name the file. We are going to name it wedding poster. Okay, now the file size we're using is 1080 by, you type in 1080 by 1350 pixels. So the resolution is, we are going to keep it at 100. The color mode will be RGB. Every other setting will be the same way you are seeing it here, and you click OK because you are OK. Now what do you do next? Now the first thing you have to do is to import in the background. So now how do you import the background in Photoshop? You come to the menu, you go to where your files are saved, and you drag in the file you want to import. You click on the file and drag it in. So this is it. This is what we are using as background. Look at how beautiful this is. Okay, now what do we do next? We want to blow out this background a bit. It is too sharp, so we want to blow it out a bit. Now how do you blow out the background? You come to the layer, you click on the layer, and you come to this topmost part of Photoshop and click on filter. Now go down to blur, and under blur you see Gaussian blur. You click on Gaussian blur. So the blur radius I'll be using for this design is 3.7. You can choose to use any radius you like, any radius that works for you, but me, I am using 3.7, and you click OK because you are OK. Now what do we do next? We want to bring in the couples, the models. So now you come to menu and click on it, and you come to where your files are saved, and you click on the model and drag them into Photoshop. Voila, this is what we have. You can see how popping and beautiful, shining this picture is. It is because I have edited them. I have edited it with Camera Raw, and I'll possibly do a video on how to edit pictures effectively with Camera Raw. So just stay tuned to this channel. You will surely see this video. So I've removed the background and I've edited, and that's why it is so beautiful and popping this way. Now this picture is too large, so we want to reduce the size. And how do you scale down or reduce the size of a picture in Photoshop? You click Ctrl T or Command T. Ctrl T on Windows and Command T on your Mac, and when you click that, you have these white lines. Now you now hold your Shift key to adjust the picture from the edge. Perfect. I am okay with this size, and you position it the way you want it to be. Perfect. Now we are not wasting time in this design. The design is already good to go. Now what do we do next? We want to type in the names of the couple. We want to type in the names of the couple. And how do you type in Photoshop? You either press T for text, or you come to this tools panel and click on T here. This T, you click on it, and you have this sign. You now click it on your workspace, and you click that. Now the font we'll be using for their names is Black Signature. That is the font we'll be using. So the bride's name is Chidima, and the groom's name is Chukudi. So we are going to write the bride names first because that always comes first in a wedding design. So we type in the bride's name Her name is Chidinma. So we type in Chidinma, and we highlight it and come to this place and look for the word font, and we click here and find the font black signature. No, this is the font black signature. We now click it, and you still come to this place. The color is black here, so we now come to this place and highlight it and choose the color we want. So we are going to be using white, pure white. So now we'll now click it. You can see that this text size is very small and we want to make it big. So you either double click here on the text and come to this place and change the figure to what you want, to the size you want. You either do this or you press holding the on the text, you press Ctrl T and you have this. So you now hold your Shift key and toggle it out. You bring it out like this. Either way is a way, is a perfect way. Wow, this is what we have. Chidinma. So now we want to write the groom's name again. So we are going to use the same font. So how do you write the groom's names with the same font? You on this Chidinma name, on this name, you press Ctrl J to duplicate. Ctrl J to duplicate. So you now press Ctrl J on your window and Command J on your Mac, and you have a duplicate already. This is the second, this duplicate you just made. Isn't this wonderful? So beautiful. Now you want to change this Chidinma name to the bride's name to the groom's name. So you now double click here and write his name, which is Chukwudi. So you now type in Chukwudi. Okay, this is perfect. This is awesome. Now, as you can see that the text are not popping, the text are not showing very well. Do you know why? There is no black shadow behind the text. So, and if you want to make a text to pop, a white text to pop on a bright background, you have to add a dark shadow behind the text. And how do you do that? You come to this, the back layer, and you add a shadow. So before then you have to add a shadow. So you have to come here and add a shadow. Now how do you do that? You come to this models layer and come down to this place. Come down to this place. You see a plus sign here, and you click on the plus sign, and you now go to this place, B for brush. You go to your brush tool, or you press B, and you have this. Now you make sure your opacity is 100 and your flow, reduce the flow to like 24. Now you have this. Now you now come to this, the text, and you now add a shadow like this. As you can see that the names are popping already. Isn't this wonderful? You can still reduce the opacity of this shadow in this place and reduce it here a bit if it is too dark. Okay, this is perfect. We can work with this. This is beautiful. Now the next text we have to write is words, because it is Chidinma that is wedding Chukwudi. So now for that text, we will be importing a resource where we will place the word on. So we come to menu to our resource file, and we take this and drag it into Photoshop like this. So now, as you can see, this size is too big, so we have to reduce it. So we reduce by pressing Ctrl T on your window or Command T on your Mac to resize it. So we now reduce the size a bit so that you can fit it. You can fit into this place. So now we now reduce it and press OK here. This is good here, and drag it to this place like this. This is perfect. This is what we want. Now we can type in the word words. So we are going to be using the font Roboto for that purpose. Now we come to T for text and click it and come to this place and type in words. So words. So now we now highlight it and come to this place and select the font we are using. So we'll be using Roboto as our font. voila, and we click on Roberto. So this is what we have. So we now have to scale it up. It is too small, so we now have to scale it up by pressing Control T or Command T. Then we'll scale it up from the edge. As you can see, scale it up like this. So this is what we have. Now we now take it, drag it to where this resource file is, this icon is, and we'll keep it like this and arrange it perfectly. So this is perfect. This is what we want, and it is looking beautiful. The design is almost ready, as you can see. Okay, now what do we do next? We want to bring in some flowers to just make this design beautiful and should I say unique. So we now go to our menu and the files, our resource files, come to this place, and okay, this is a flower. We will now import it into Photoshop. This is it. Wonderful flower. So now the size of the flower is too big, so we reduce it by pressing Ctrl T or Command T and adjust it from the edge. We adjust it this way. I am okay with this size already. Now we want to take the flower to the back of this couple. We want to take it and place it at the back of this couple. So now look at the flower here. So now this is the model, this is the couple there. So we now take the flower and take it down behind the models, the couple. Now voila, the flower at the back is at the back now. Now you now take it to this side of the design of the bride. Keep it here. This is fantastic. Now we want to take this flower, we want to duplicate this flower, and keep it this way by the side of the groom. So how do you duplicate? You press Ctrl J and you have made a duplicate already. So you now drag it to this other side. Wonderful, so beautiful. Now this is what we have. You can see now the couple is our focal point and the flower are like a distraction now. So how do you solve this? We want to blow out the flower a bit so that the focal point will be the couple, not the flower. Okay, so now we want to add blur to the flower. So you click on the flower, you come to this up on filter, you come to blur and Gaussian blur, and you click on Gaussian blur. You can see that the flower is blurred out a bit, so the focal point is now on the couples, not the flower again that much. Now we are going to be using 3.7 radius for the Gaussian blur. So now you press OK because you are okay. Now come to this other flower and do the same thing. You click on the flower, come to filter, come to blur, come to Gaussian blur, 3.7, the same blur radius. So and you click OK because you're okay. Now the next thing you have to do is we want to add a dark shadow at this base of the couple because this place is too bright. So we want to add a dark shadow. And how do you add a dark shadow? You can still use the brush method we use here, or you can use the gradient method. So I'll be still using the brush method here. I'll not use the gradient method. I'll use the gradient method later. Okay, in another design. So we click on the couple, come to this place and click on the plus sign and come to B for brush and click your brush, and you have this sign. So you now make sure your opacity is 100. Your flow, you can reduce the flow if you want. Let's go to 19, and you come to this place and you can increase the brush size by pressing your bracket keys, and you just want to put a dark shadow beam around this area. So you now come to this place and apply your dark shadow like this. This is wonderful, and this is what we want. Okay, what do we do next? We want to just add another text here. The text we want to add here is just happy married life. So we come to T for text. We'll be using the font Roberto. T for text, and we come to there and click. So we now type happy married life. So now, yeah, this is what we have. So we can as well change the spacing of the letters to make it wide a bit. So you highlight on the text and come to this character panel and come to this VA and increase the size. Let's keep it at 200. Okay, this is perfect. Keep it at 200. 200 is not too perfect, so we just add the highlight on the text and add the figure ourselves. Let's use 1000. Now 1000 is perfect, and you keep it at the center here. This is what we want. Perfect. The design is almost ready. Now the next thing we have to do is just add some icons to make the design look sweet. So we are going to be adding some icons here. So when I will come to our resource files using our menu, go to resource file, we'll be adding this icon here, and I import it to Photoshop. We take it down here. It's too big, so we have to resize it. So we now reduce the size, holding shift. Now reduce the size and place it perfectly here. You can see that it is too bright, so we have to reduce the opacity of this icon here now. So you're now clicking on the icon, you come to this tools bar and you come to your opacity, and reduce the opacity a bit. Let's say let's use 51. So we'll use 51. So we want to place this icon at this side of design too. So it will be like two arrows are coming together. So you now duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J and take it to this side of the design, the groom's angle of the design. Now we want to flip this arrow to face this way. So you now do that by pressing Ctrl T or Command T, and you have this. Then you now left click. When you left click, you have these options. You now come to flip horizontal and you click on flip horizontal, and you can see it has flipped. So this way, this is what you have. So now you now take it back a bit, so it will be that the arrow is facing that way, facing the right up this way. This is perfect. The design is already finished. Now the next and last thing we'll be doing is to add some lights to make the design pop. And how do we do that? You come to your menu, to your resource files, and import in the lights like this. So now you now change the blend mode of the light. Come to this place, normal. You change the blend mode to what? Screen. This is the light, the mode we are using now. The light is not giving good vibe, so we want to change the color of this light. This light is yellow, so I want to change it to red to match the background. So now how do you do that? You add a hue and saturation by pressing Ctrl U or Command U, and you have this. So now from this, first you must have to power clip it into the word light. So how do you do that? So now you first come to this place and add a hue and saturation. In this place, you come to this place and click on this and press hue and saturation. You have this. So now you now come to this place and power clip it into what? The lights, the hue and saturation into the lights only, so that it will not affect other parts of the design, and you click OK. Perfect. You have already done that. Now you now come here to change here the hue. You now come to the hue to change the color of the light. So let's find the color that best match the design. So I think we'll work with 26. It's giving this red vibe already, and so we now toggle it to -26, and we are okay with it. So we now go back. Now we now have to reduce this light a bit by pressing Ctrl T. We now have to reduce this light a bit by pressing Ctrl T like this, and we take it to this part of the design, to the bright hand area, and I'll keep it here. You can see that it is too bright, so we now reduce the opacity a bit. Reduce the opacity a bit Yeah, perfect. Now you duplicate it. You duplicate this light and keep it at the side of the groom. You duplicate this light and keep it at the side of the what? Groom. Perfect. So now we duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J and take it to the side of the groom like this. Perfect. So voila, this is it. Isn't this design beautiful? Please, please subscribe to this channel. Just click the subscription button and like, share, comment on this video so that you get more content from me. So you can see the design is good to go, set. So this is the end of today's tutorial. I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao, bye.